Hello guys, welcome back, and today I'm going to be announcing the new Graviteh Community Fantasy Hockey League. Now when it comes to fantasy hockey, I'm not really a hardcore guy. I've only been playing for 2 years, and both years I kind of sucked in my league, so I'm not a real master here. But I was like, hey, our community is big enough to support a whole league, so why not make a whole league dedicated to the next hockey season when it comes to the fantasy metrics? And I thought that was a great idea, and I thought the community could really bind together because of that. And so for this next NHL season, we'll have a Grav Community Fantasy Hockey League, which I think will be fantastic. I'll keep up with it, and maybe there'll be some live streams, maybe there'll be some updates around the league itself. It'll be really fun to catch up with, too. Now, what is fantasy hockey? For the people that do not know what it is, it's a fantasy type thing to where each NHL season, you join a league, you get a draft, you draft players throughout that draft, and then you cycle your lineup, you cut players, you waiver players, you add players throughout the year, and really you have the fantasy, you have your pool, and you keep track of players that you drafted throughout the whole year. They add points against your team, and your team goes against other teams to compete for the playoffs and hopefully win a championship. It's a fantastic idea and has been around for pretty much 2 decades now, so I'm really excited for us to have a community and for us to be able to have our own league. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to give a prize to whoever wins the championship. I don't know what I'll do there, but I'll congratulate you at least, and we'll see what actually ends up happening. It's going to be a probably competitive league, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully it's a really fun one and a really competitive one as well. Now, to get into the details of this league, it is named the Grav Fantasy League, pretty basic there. I'm going to have 20 teams, so it's not a ton, it's not a massive amount of teams, so if you want to get in this league, you better get in pretty much when this video is posted. I'll have the links in the comments and in the description down below to join this fantasy league, but there's going to be 20 spots. I'm going to give the links to the Discord people, I'm going to give the links to you guys, so I think the last spots will fill up pretty quickly, so if you want to be competitive and if you want to be in this league, you better sign up quick. League, of course, the snake draft. Snake draft is pretty much just a regular draft. You're just picking players after players, but it's not like a prospect draft. It's a everyday player. So Connor McDavid is probably going to go number 1, Sidney Crosby number 2, and so on and so forth. And the biggest part about this is the date. So it'll be held on September 8th, 2018, of course, and it'll be at 7:30 Central Standard Time. That date is pretty much set in stone, so if you don't think you can make it, you can make your computer I think auto draft. You can make some strategies and stuff like that, but if you aren't able to come, make sure you contact me on Twitter or Discord or whatever to make sure that we could skip over your pick if you're not going to pick anyways. But there'll be 60 seconds per pick for anyone that wants to decide for a long time who they want. It'll be randomized one hour before draft time. That's when pretty much luck comes involved. You're going to draft number 1 or if you're going to draft number 20. For the roster sizes, you'll have 23 spots, you'll have 18 total starters, 5 bench spots, and then 1 injured reserve spot. It's not that complicated, and you usually don't have to pay that much attention to it, so it isn't that complicated, and you should be fine. Now, for the meat and potatoes, you gotta go with the scoring, and the scoring, I think, will be very, very balanced this next season. When it comes to our fantasy league, I'm trying to make it as balanced as possible to not favor goaltenders, not favor wingers or centers or whatever, to make it pretty balanced list. So, you have 3 points for goals, you have 2 points for assists. Remember, these points are racking up against your opponent, so you're going to be playing against your opponent, and you're wanting to get as many points as possible by the end of the week. 1 power play goals, that's 1 point. You get 0.5 for a power play assist, 1 for a power play points, 2 shorthanded goals, or you have 2 points for a shorthanded goal, you have 1 point for a shorthanded assist, you have 3 for a game-winning goal, so you might want to get players that are pretty clutch there. 0.2 for face-offs 1, so it's gonna make some centers really valuable there. Hat tricks, it'll be 3 points, so having a hat trick will be very valuable. 0.2 for hits, 0.2 for block shots, and 0.5 for defenseman points. Now, on the goaltender side of things, I try to make it a little bit balanced to where most goaltenders are going to give you some points. So, for wins, I didn't put too much emphasis on it. 3 points is good enough. You get 1 goal. You get 1 point minus for goals against. You get 0.1 for saves. So, if your goalie is really above a 900 save percentage on a given night, you will get some points. So, I want to make sure that really every goaltender, most goaltenders at least, will get points a lot. So, I want to put some emphasis on that as well. And for shutouts, you get 4 points, which is a hefty amount. And again, with the scoring, I was trying to make it as balanced as possible. We'll see how that works out. Maybe the first week can be a kind of test run, but I feel like that was as balanced as possible. I think that will work. Now on to the divisions. I have the Polak division, I got the Niemi division, I got the Reeves division, and I got the Alexiak division. I try to make it as meme players as possible. Of course, I don't like Alexiak. Reeves is pretty annoying, and Niemi, I won't even start on it. And of course, Roman Polak. Those division names should be funny, you guys. I try to make it at least a little bit humorous. On to the acquisition and waiver rules. Lineup changes are daily, locked individually at scheduled game time. So what it basically means is when you're going into your lineup, you gotta set your players before the game starts. So that's pretty much just what it means. It's not that complicated. Player acquisition system, there's no waivers, so you're not gonna have to worry about that. Season acquisition limit, there's no limit, so you can trade all you want. And same thing goes for the matchup acquisition limits. It's a 7-day matchup, so it's a week-long matchup against the one opponent that you're facing off against, so you won't have any limit for when it comes to trades then. On to the trade rules. Once again, no limit on the trades. The trade deadline will be February 22nd, 2019 at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. The trade review period will be 1 day. That's just to make sure that I can review that trade to see if it's actually fair. And of course, votes required to veto trade. It's only the manager, which is me, the league manager. So I can veto trades if I want, but it'll likely not happen unless it's just stupid, like Hubert over Roman Polak or something. For the regular season setup, it'll be just week 1, start of the season. That's when the start of the regular season. That's when the start of the fantasy season will start. Weeks per matchup, 1. The regular season matchups, 22. Matchup tiebreaker, the home team wins. So that's basically if the week matchup total at the end of the week is the same number, then the home team will win that deciding tiebreaker. And home field advantage, there'll be none of that. And for the last thing, when it comes to playoff time, it'll be 10 playoff teams, so you have a 50% chance, basically, at being in the playoffs, 10 playoff teams, 20 teams, so it'll be a pretty decent fight to make the playoffs for sure. Weeks per playoff matchup, you got 1. The playoff seeding tiebreaker, it'll be head-to-head record, and I think the playoffs will be very, very fun. I mean, 10 out of 20, it'll be a fair competitor to get in the playoffs for sure. So how do you join this league if you're new to fantasy hockey? Well, it'll be run on ESPN. So you can go on their site, go to fantasy, and you can go join the link and join in there. If you want to join the league, you got to make an ESPN account, so that's a little bit of a hassle sometimes. But if you want to join the league, that's what you have to go through. They also have an app which is a lot more user friendly, which you can go on and use that. It's a very solid one, and I do recommend that more for daily matchups. And when it comes to draft time, I will likely be streaming the event at September 8th, so that'll likely be the next stream. We'll see what happens, but I'll likely be streaming my reactions, and if you guys are also drafting as well, if you're drafting on your phone and your computer, you can go to my stream and check my live reaction as well. It should be pretty fun, and the draft is usually the best part too. Oh, and another thing, if you're unsure that you're going to play, you're going to be very active, I think you should be a little bit hesitant to join, because I don't know how many people are really going to be wanting to join this. There might be 30 people or there might be some people that maybe get excluded because there's not enough slots. So if you don't think they're going to be too active, maybe wait in maybe a couple of hours after the video releases, maybe wait a day before you join to make sure that you're not blocking anybody from joining. But once again, it's going to be a very, very fun league. Hopefully it'll be competitive. Hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with it. The draft will certainly be the best part. That's always my favorite part about it, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy the league too. And hey, there's no better way to make fun of me than winning against me in fantasy. It's really going to be a hard league. I feel like you guys are going to be very competitive with me, and hopefully that'll be very, very fun too. Now, just a little bit of an update on the hat collection. You may have already seen this in the video. I got a new Chicago Blackhawks 2017 draft hat. I also got this new New York Rangers gray Adidas hat. They're both very solid, and I both got them in the collection today from Lids, of course. And of course, I should let you guys know because I'm adding them to the collection now. But yeah, they're both pretty solid, and I can't wait to have them in the collection and for them to be in the regular videos. But I want to hear from you. What do you think of the idea of fantasy hockey? Will you be joining the league? Will you not be? And of course, I want to know which players will you be drafting on draft day. But that's it for it, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you like and subscribe. Again, the fantasy hockey links will be down below in the comments and the description. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.